guys, this is Ruroni K95 here. Once again, we're going to do a two-part episode review, this time with some major plot points on here as well. And this time, we're going to be reviewing an episode from The Incredible Hulk, which is with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno as well. Because last time we already reviewed Prometheus, we're going to be doing an episode review, and this time we're going to be reviewing an episode which we have right here, and this is going to be on a two-part episode, once again, Mystery Man. So the plot, it starts off with David Banner, who is basically hitchhiking down the road until he gets picked up by a cowgirl in her car as well, particularly because he said he was coming from Oklahoma City, particularly if they have trying to figured out a way to get to Santa Fe, because she always keeps like driving and keeps sideways looking at him without paying attention to the road as well, because he wanted a ride as well, particularly. But this wasn't long until something horrible happens, of how the car took in a wrong, gets reckless as well, as the car turns over from the debris of the road, until as she jumps out of the car, as the car tumbled over, David was trapped inside the car, and as well as the car, this has led to the car starting the fire, and then this causes David to turn into the Hulk, as David, who is now the Hulk in that part, jumps out of the car. He has basically had to figure out a way to push the car right over with his strength as well, because the car was burning in the sight as well. As before he took off running, he flips the car right over. As he took off, the car explodes, and the Hulk got caught by the fire, particularly. But this how it led to this all has happened in this episode as well. Before he turns back to David, he was unconscious. So we get to the hospital, because he was suffering from amnesia in this one. When Jack McGee arrives at the hospital in Santa Fe as well, particularly because this all has gotten to this. So due to David suffering from amnesia, so he decided to go by the name as John Doe in that one, because this all has happened, particularly when his face got covered with a bandage to concealing the identity as well. But if he could remember anything about the creature. But this is how it was before we get to McGee takes Banner to the plane, as where they were flying, heading over through the rain as well, on the whole bad weather as well going on. But this how it has taken a proper way of how this happened. So this particularly of how the plane ended up crashing into a wooded mountains during the plane crash. And this how Jack McGee injured his leg in that one. With the pilot died after the plane accident. Jack McGee is unable to walk, particularly. So David Banner drags them both to safety as well. They could figure out a way of how, what he has particularly, figuring out a way of how David has, if he could remember it, due to his amnesia. Jack McGee told him more about the Hulk, about he saw the creature at a boxing match, as well as the Hulk sighting in New York, which is right on Park Avenue, which are basically could track it down, which if he could have ever put him right back on top in this one. And he wanted to know about the creature, but who was dead. Of how he's getting these memories of how, particularly if he could call that the reporter's reputation as how this goes. I mean, when McGee recalled that it was shortly after the Hulk was spotted, like there was a man and a girl who was camping in the woods. The creature chased the little girl into the water. The man took a shot at the creature, could have been almost been hurt. And then McGee decided to came back of how to his whole memory recollection of how this goes, how he first encountered the Hulk. When he remembered that, he will never forget the moment as long as he knows, as this progresses of how it remembers. McGee found out particularly about the death of Elena Marks. They found Elena Marks in the woods. She was dead, particularly during the events of the Incredible Hulk pilot, how this has effect to this. Days by days goes. When they were figuring out a way, when they started campfire in this one, particularly in the wooded mountain areas, if he could have ever wanted to figure out a way if they could have ever searched for the Hulk in that one, because this all happened, but they figured it out in the evening, particularly of what his recollections of how he could have ever get the whole story to search for the Hulk as well. The next day, they were figuring out a way to find their way to escape through the mountains as well. They were encountered by things, forest fires in that one, as they were trying. If he was trying to be able to get on that leg as well, particularly Jack McGee and David Banner were basically heard that they were surrounded by a pack of wolves, because they were driven by the forest fire in that one, just like what they were going. As the crew figure out a way about what caused the forest fires, if they could have ever figured out of how this happened. And once Jack McGee and David Banner has cleared about 20 feet a mile around, when they figure out to make a camp as well. But this wasn't long until a pack of hungry wolves returned. David has to prevent from being attacked by wolves when he used the fire around. So Jack McGee and David attempts to escape. The next day, when they were figuring out a way of how this goes, this how it led to where Jack McGee and David were trying to figure out to escape from the woods as well. But then this wasn't long until Jack McGee almost could have fallen to the edge of those cliffy landslide area, right where the pack of hungry wolves are, and this causes David to turn into the Hulk. So, with David rescued Jack McGee in that one, and the Hulk has knocked over the branch of a tree, so he carries Jack McGee to safety just to prevent from being attacked by a pack of wolves in that one. 4 moments ago, as Jack McGee still unconscious as well, because this all has happened as well. When Jack McGee noticed that after the Hulk reverts back to David, which goes in this whole climatic parts, when David goes by the name John Doe in that one, if they're figuring out a way as how they wanted to come across for how this goes, if they could do. By this time as goes, during the raging forest fire, standing by their own guard as well, when they were trapped in the forest fire, this how it led to David's Hulk transformation to the Hulk, how this goes. When the Hulk has rescue Jack McGee away from the forest fire in this one progresses. And that's how this brings Jack McGee to the Corey family when they were in the Jeep as well. And the Hulk disappears when this Hulk after the Hulk removed the bandage off of the face as well. Moments later at the hospital, Jack McGee has been in the hospital, particularly after due to the leg injury that he has, if he could ever recover from his leg injury as well. And that's how you end this episode, with David Banner hitchhiking down the road in that one. Well, this episode has a good plot line as well. There's some flashbacks that were used from previous episodes from the first two seasons, like the pilot episode from The Incredible Hulk, as well as the married episode from season 2, as well as episodes like Terror in Times Square, Final Round, which those are the episodes from the first season of The Incredible Hulk, and even Killer Instinct as well. Most of these are some stock shots on there, and even the pilot episode as well, because this all has gotten to my curiosity. How this makes this episode very good, and it comes to this fresh for how they were using stock shots as well, especially for a lot of moment of this as well. When it comes to explaining about the Incredible Hulk episode Mystery Man, is that the biggest thing is that this is particularly for how director Frank Orsatti has a lot to do with, as well as writer Nicholas Correa worked on a 2-part episode, as how this all has gotten to this as well, particularly because one interesting thing is, the Hulk out sequence in the first part of Mystery Man episode, it's only in part 1. However, in part 2, there was only 2 Hulk outs in that one. This is a lot more interesting than any other episode that I have watched before or since as well. And the story's very good, and it's got to the whole major plot point as well. As it gets very good, though, because this all has gotten to my curiosity for a 2-part episode of The Incredible Hulk as well. And things come all at once as well. As for some animals, like the wolves in that episode, they were trained by employees at Thousand Oaks, California's Animal Actors of Hollywood, and even Action California's Ron Oxley's Action Animals as well, because they were basically trained by animal trainers in that one. Because this is a lot interesting for how you ever want to come across for this. If you ever want to tune in for an episode on The Incredible Hulk as well, because maybe it could have been all of this as well, because I just gathered up for this as well. If you ever want to watch an episode like The Incredible Hulk, like Mystery Man Part 1 and 2, because this is your typical 2-part episode, unlike most 2-part episodes in general, but this takes the cake as well, because I never know that this is very interesting, because there are a lot more things to come all at once as well. Not only that, this makes it very good of how this episode particularly, because despite that this episode is basically being a most significant episode, being the first 1-hour episode particularly, accordingly, because this all has got to this as well, of how you ever want to come by for an episode like Mystery Man, which is a 2-part episode from Season 2 of The Incredible Hulk as well, because this is all new for this, because just to give you, but then again, just considering how this is more different, unlike most two-part episodes, like from season 4, like specific episodes from season 4 of The Incredible Hulk, such as Prometheus and the First. Those are the two of these two-part episodes from season 4 of The Incredible Hulk. Mystery Man is the only two-part episode from season 2 of The Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby, because this takes the cake as well, because, I mean, the production's well made, it's very good, the story is awesome, because I got to the whole leaps and bounds of the major plot points, and even the characters are in this one as well, because this gets very good as well, and the music is done by Joe Harnell as well, including the Sad Walking Away theme, which is the Lonely Man theme song. My thoughts on this episode: I have rewatched this episode lots of times, especially that I had to pick as a fan favorite to watch, especially that I'm watching on this TV series Ultimate Collection as well. And my score for this episode, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that's all I have. So that's going to be it for today's episode review on Mystery Man, which is a two-part episode from The Incredible Hulk for today's episode review. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notifications bell button if you missed anything new. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Be sure to check out my anime planner and list, because I've been literally getting into Letterboxd and tshirtslayer.com. Ta-ta for now for this two-part episode review of Mystery Man from the second season of The Incredible Hulk. Because if you're watching this channel, because I've been literally wanted to do something new accordingly as well. This is how I got to my whole formula for this one. This is Rurouni K95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Be sure to stay safe and stay healthy, and have a great day. This is Rurouni K95 signing off. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you soon for more videos I got on plan for what's in store for this one. Take care. Stay tuned for more surprises. Bye.